Evening, everybody. Hello, hello. Okay, we are live. Welcome to Monday night's live crafting with me, Stacey Marsh. A very happy hello to you all as people are joining. Hi Sandra, hi Carol. Do say hello as you join this evening. Hi Debbie. I am just catching my breath after a busy day and a busy after school. So I will wait to welcome everyone on and then we will make a little start. I'm just in the process of putting things away from a busy card class this afternoon. So it looks like a bit of a disaster zone in here, but it was worth it, which was good. Evening, Caroline. So we are Monday the 6th of November. I hope you all had a lovely, safe Halloween and Guy Fawkes night last week. We went to see a nice fireworks display on Friday and with lots of friends. I think it was about 40 of us in the end. So it was a really fab evening, lots of fun. And also I'm here, but I'm not allowed to stay and watch because we've got to play family games. You play your games and enjoy your holiday. So have a lovely time. Yeah, so we had a lovely evening watching some fireworks with some friends and it was a nice weekend. We had a full craft day on Saturday. There was myself and about 23 local ladies, some not so local, and we spent the day just doing our own craft projects. So in the room there must have been maybe 10 different crafts going on. There was clay making, not clay making, but a lady was making really cute things out of clay. There was quilting, knitting, crocheting, card making, scrapbooking, painting, diamond painting, cross stitch. There was everything in one room and we had such a fabulous day. So I'm still on a bit of a high from that. So tonight I'm going to share with you today's coffee and card design. So I run a local coffee and card event here twice a month. And you come along, you have a coffee or a cup of tea and you make a card and you go about your day. So today I'm going to share the design that I made for that and maybe something else. We will see how the evening takes us. So do follow along, do chat, do ask questions. As always, everything that I've used tonight is available to purchase from my online store. And you can find that at staceymarsh.co.uk. As always, do enter the free gift code down there in November and you'll get a free gift from me in December and access to an exclusive Facebook group. If you have any questions, do get in touch afterwards and I will link in all the products I've used at the end of the video if you're following on YouTube. So do watch, do join along, and I hope you enjoy what we make. So let's just move over to my craft desk, or let me just swap out my grid paper because this is what my grid paper looks like. It looks like graffiti, so let's just get rid of that so we don't need that. Hi Carol, hi Sophie, hi Shaz. Lots of you on. So let's switch to my desk. Okay, great. We can see my desk. Everyone see my desk? All good? Just going to straighten up my camera a bit because it's a bit wonky tonight. Still a bit wonky. That's better. Okay. So, hi Jenny. Lovely to see you. And I saw you in Sainsbury's the other day. What a treat. So thanks for joining us. So today I made this card for Coffee and Card. We had our monthly card class afterwards. We've been using the Merriest trees set. So let me just show you those cards. I think you'll quite like these. So these are the cards we had for card class this afternoon. And this card class was focused around the Merriest trees and Walk in the Forest DSP. So there's that one. There's this one here. There's one using the tag, this one, and these dies are just fabulous. I'm absolutely obsessed with them still, and that's what I'm going to show you today. And this one. So this was the card class for the afternoon. So I didn't have to take lots and lots more products with me to use for coffee and card. I put this little design together, and this is still using the Merriest Trees dies, but I've switched up the colours. So colours, I've used a bubble bath, fresh freesia, Highland heather, and balmy blue. So a very different colour palette, and I absolutely love the finished card. So if I show that a little bit up here, let me zoom that in. That's better, so you can see that in a bit more detail. Janice has put she likes the soft colours, and it's really soft, isn't it? And I'll show you how I created that. So these dies, I'll just show you those in a bit more detail if I get them out of the box. So the Merriest Trees dies, I think they are a little hidden gem in the mini catalogue. So within the dies, you get 1, 2, I've got 50p in my pot, 3, 4, and 5. So you get 5 pieces of the Christmas tree, and you can use these in lots of different ways. You can use them flat, so you can use that on its own. This one will go around the stamped image as well. It will also cut out some of the trees on the DSP, or you can use this one on its own. You can use this one on its own as a mini Christmas tree, and this one. But what you can do is, and this is what I'm going to do tonight, is you can layer them all together because they're all symmetrical. So you can quite literally just build them up. And that is what I've done on this card. And that is what I've done on this card. So I'm going to show you how that works. And I'm also going to share with you tonight this nice little watercoloured background. So let's make a little start. Put that over there. It's really annoying me that my grid paper keeps moving. Put that there. Now, one of the products I'm going to use is actually a retired product, but you can use an alternative. And the only reason I'm using it is because I bought loads of it and I absolutely love it. And that is this is the shimmery white card, and it was quite a versatile piece of card that was great for watercolouring. I've also got some white card, and I have some balmy blue card. No, this isn't blue. This is a bubble bath card. Okay, so I'm going to cut that down to start with, and I'm going to create my card base. So I've got a square card, and this is a really lovely special size card. I purchased my envelopes from Amazon. The envelopes are 6 inches by 6 inches, so that fits in there really snugly, and it's a great size for a Christmas card. Some of the comments I get is that the cards I make are quite small. This one isn't. This is a good size card. Okay, so to create it, I'm using my A4 bubble bath, and I'm going to cut a strip that is 14.9 centimetres long. I want to create a square. Okay, so 14.9 centimetres. I'm going to turn it, and then I'm going to score it at 14.9 centimetres. And that means I have got a very nice size card base that is 14.9 by 14.9 centimetres. Okay, just pop that there. And I want a piece of basic white. Well, I want 2 pieces actually. I want a piece for the outside and a piece for the inside. So I'm going to cut myself a strip, and I want it to be 0.5 centimetre smaller. So 14.9 is our card. So take away 0.5 centimetre brings it down to 14.4. Cut myself another strip, and then I want 2 pieces that are 14.4 centimetres long. So 1, 2. Okay, so I now have my 2 white card pieces. I'm going to cut myself half a sheet of this. Okay, put that card to one side. So now we've done that, I can put my trimmer away. And before I do anything else, I'm going to emboss one of the sheets of white card. Okay, so here I have the snowflake embossing folder. It is really pretty, this embossing folder. So let's put that in there and wheel that through the machine, which is just behind me. So now when we open this up, we've got a beautiful embossed piece of card that's got the snowflakes on it. Can you see that? It's quite hard to see against the white. But before I do anything else, I'm going to add me a little bit of glitter to this. So I'm being really adventurous recently. I don't normally use glitter and anything that could be messy, but in the last couple of weeks I've used the gold gilding leaf, and I'm now using glitter. And the glitter I'm going to use is an old Stampin' Up one. This is ice stamping glitter, and you'll see that it's quite a chunky glitter, and it's really, really pretty. So it looks nice against the white backdrop. So what I'm going to do is, in the centre of these snowflakes, I'm just going to do myself a little dot of glue. Okay, and I'm not going to do them all at once because I will get myself into a big glittery mess. Tip on the glitter. Tip it into my little tray, and there we have some glittery snowflakes. So I'm just going to carry on and do some of the other snowflakes. And because it's quite chunky, I just think it's a good contrast between the delicate sort of style of the card and the sort of white on white. Now, if like me, your pot is now empty, great thing about this little dish is it's got a little screw top that you undo and then just pour it back in there. And although I've managed to make a little bit of mess, I've made less mess than if I were to try and get that in the pot a different way. So I'm also quite mindful that I'm not really going to see. Oh no, I've got it upside down. That's the top. The top is where it's really thick, isn't it? So I'm doing this first because I need to let it dry. Trying to see where I've done now. We may only get one card made tonight because this could take a while. But sometimes it's nice to make a card that takes a bit longer. Okay, so that is my glittered snowflake embossed card. So I'm going to put that to one side. Let's put my glitter back in the pot. Love this little tray. That's part of the embossing toolkit for those of you that are wondering what it is. And then we can move on to our background. So for the background, you're going to need a watercolour brush. You want a watercolour brush that's quite thick. So I had that in my hand earlier. Now, what have I done with it? Let's see what I've done with it. That's annoying, isn't it? Just bear with me. I had it in my hand about 5 minutes before I went live. There's my spritzer. What have I done with that? In the meantime, I'm just going to fill up my spritzer so I'll have a little think about what I've done with it. What have I done with that? Right, we're just going to have to go with what I've got in front of me. That's really bugging me. Right, so never mind. I don't know what I've done with that. It's definitely not up there. Right, okay, so what I was looking for was the thick water brush that I used today. I can't seem to find it. So I have a small dish of water. Small, it's a whole glass full. I have some watercolour card and I have my ink pads of choice. Now, what I'm going to do is I would usually use re-inkers for this, but I haven't got the re-inker for bubble bath, so I'm going to use them like this. I'm squeezing my ink pad so I get the ink transfer onto the lid. Now, this was used today by 10 ladies, so I'm just going to give it a really good squidge. That's good. And I'm always going to start with the lightest colour, so I'm going to use a Stampin spritzer and I'm going to spritz my card. And I don't want to have too much water, but I do want a good amount on there. And then add my water to there. I'm just going to go in with some really rough colour. Okay, now this one it barely notices. Give it a good squeeze again. The elves do come out, Shaz. You're absolutely right. I had it in my hand literally before we started, so God knows what I've done with that. I'll probably find it the minute I finish. Okay. So I want about half of this sheet covered, and between each layer of colour, I am going to heat. Let me just grab my heat tool. And what this does is it just gives you a better finish. I think if you've seen me do any watercolouring before, you would have seen me always use my heat tool between. I do need that re-inker, you're right. I mean, it's a very, very subtle colour anyway. It is one of the subtles. But you can barely really see that. So I'm just going to add myself another little layer of that. So when you add a second layer, it does darken a bit. And this is where you start to get a bit of definition in your background. So you can start to see that slowly building. I'm going to shut that one, and I'm going to go to my next colour, which is a fresh freesia. And I'm going to layer my next lot of colour on. If you want to add a bit more water, you can just give it a spritz. So we're going with our heat tool. This is definitely a labour of love. It's not something that you can do really, really quickly, but it is something that will give you a really nice end result. I'm going to spritz again now. And I'm going to put a little bit more fresh freesia on this. You can also add a little bit of speckling by just tapping the brush. Let's give that a heat again. I'm going to heat it on the back. It's got quite a lot of water on it. So you can really start to see that changing now. I'll just hold it up so you can see what that looks like. Evening, Chris. I'm going to add a little bit of blue now before it gets too muddy looking. So a bit more water. I do find you get a better finish when you add a bit more water. That's it. You want to try and avoid it running into each other. So let's give that a nice heat again. Evening, Mum. Because I've used two different colours now, I'm starting to see a really nice sort of blended look. And you will get a completely different look every time you do this. Okay, that's some blue. And I'm going to add a little bit of Highland Heather, but not too much because Highland Heather is quite dark. When I saw your sample earlier, you thought I'd used alcohol inks. Oh yeah, I could have done. But no, it's just water this time. I'm going to go back to my fresh freezer and just finish it off with a bit of this. I'm looking forward to sorting all these ink pads out afterwards. Hi Anne, thanks for joining us this evening. I'm just creating a bit of a watercoloured background. That's beautiful, beautiful as my daughter would go crazy. There's 4 different colours. I've got Bubble Bath, Balmy Blue, Highland Heather and Fresh Freesia. Right, so when you are happy with how it's looking, close your ink pads, get rid of your water so you don't spill it. And now you want to cut out your trees. Okay, now the good thing about this, the only full one that you need is this little one. So sort of decide where you want that to be and cut that one first. Okay, so I'm just going to run that through my little machine. Right, so this is my first one. So that is the top of my tree. Now all of the other dies, you're only going to see the bottom parts. So in theory, you can sort of place them in and around. You just need to be a bit clever with where you put them. I'm just going to cut myself some out. So if I put that one on there like so, and cut that one out. Are we all still there? All still hanging on in there? I definitely think we're only going to get one card tonight because it's past already. And then this one. Okay, so here is my 4th tree. So then what we're going to do now is we're going to layer them all together. Okay, but before we do that, I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to curl just the edges, bottom edges. And what that's doing is that's just giving us a little bit more detail and texture on our Christmas tree. It's also making it a little bit 3D. Oh, thanks, Anne. Now, I'm going to stick these together. So I'm going to start with my biggest one, and I'm going to go to the second size, and I'm just putting my glue at the top and then line it up with the bottom one and stick it down. Do the same with the next one. So I'm going to put my glue on here, line that up, and then the last one is going on here. And there you have your 3D, well, not 3D, your, that is 3D, I guess, your textured Christmas tree. Okay, so I'm just going to put that to one side, and I'm going to bring my card back in. You want to go quite careful just in case you've got any glue that's not quite set. I'm going to stick this on. The busiest sort of area is going to be the bit at the top. Okay, so I'm going to put my glue actually on my card. Chris says, wow, love it. Thank you, Chris. Just stick that down. Now, for our sentiment at the bottom, I'm just going to cut myself a little strip. I didn't think I needed those dies. Do you know what, Shaz? If I had a penny for everyone that said that today, I could probably buy a bag of Haribo or a bag of chocolate, because everyone has said the same. And actually, I think in the catalogue, you can't really see these dies. I mean, I'll see if I can find a catalogue. Here's one. When you look at the dies in here, if I can find them at the beginning, I think. Page 69. They're not at the beginning at all, Stacey. Okay. Oh, no, that one. Let's see if I can find the double page spread bit. Here they are. So this is in the catalogue, page 12. And when you look at it, it shows you that the die can cut a partial amount of the tree. And down here, no, it's not showing you that you can cut it all out. But it doesn't really show you what these dies can do. When you look at page 69, it shows you the different size dies there, but it doesn't show you that you can layer them together. So I have loved playing with this set. I'm just going to cut myself a little bit of white for the bottom. What size is that? I think it's 3.5 centimetres. It is 3.5 centimetres. So this piece is 3.5 centimetres by 14.4. Evening, Maria. Thanks for joining us. We've been going for half an hour and I've made not one card yet, but it's going in the right direction. So on this one, I have used Starry Sky to stamp my sentiment. And I'm using one of these really big sentiments, and I'm just going to put that in the centre of my white strip and stamp. Oh, that's a terrible stamp, Stacey. Turn it over. Piece of card has two sides. And stamp. Better, much, much better. So there's my sentiment, and I'm going to stick that down first. So that's going to stick at the bottom of my card, and that's going on just with some wet glue. Wet glue, liquid glue, all glue's wet, oh dear. I think it might be time to stop soon. So my sentiment strip, I'm just lining that up with the bottom of that piece of card, our backing layer. And then I'm going to take my tree, I'm going to stick my tree on, but I'm going to put that on with some dimensionals. Always use all of your dimensionals. I'm sticking that on in the centre. About there. Okay, so it's starting to come together. So if you look at that now, so pretty. Gina, hi lovely, how are you? It's nice to see you on here. You have been missed, my dear. Now I'm going to cut my bottom basket out of crumb cake. You'll know why I've done crumb cake in a minute. If in doubt, drop your die. And then I'm going to put this. We're all good, Gina. Thank you for asking. And then I'm going to put the little base of the tree in there. And there we go. So I will finish off with a star. Now I don't have any of the silver paper left. I do have some gold. So what does the gold look like? I don't like the gold. I think I might leave the star off this. Now this is the adhesive backed silver paper and it's super glitzy. But sadly I have used all of mine now. I got used in class. And then this is the one without it. Had to come over to YouTube, kept dropping on Facebook. I'm silly on Facebook. Now the reason I've done that in crumb cake is because I also today, whilst I was at my card class, sat and made this one. Oh, my sentiment's just moved. Hang on, I can't show it to you yet. I also made this one. And this has got crumb cake in the background. So I've done the same with the tree, cut it out of the different layers, but I've cut it from white and I've embossed the white layer with that snowflake, which is really pretty. And then I've stamped a piece of bubble bath card with Highland Heather ink all the way across with that sentiment. So those two kind of now go together because they've got the same crumb cake and other colours, whereas this one had smoky slate, which is fine, looks lovely on its own, but together in a set, they look nice. And then I had some more left. I haven't finished this at all. I've basically done some paper piecing behind like that, and then I've cut myself a sheet of white just with the tree cut out of it, and I just need to put myself a sentiment on, which I will do probably tomorrow now. And that's it, guys. That is my coffee and card design today. We've got 2 more coffee and cards left of the year. I do have spaces for those of you that are local on the next one, which is the 20th of November. And I do have spaces on the very final one, which is the 4th of December. So if you are local to me in Sittingbourne in Kent, do feel free to book on. Please get in touch if you've got any questions. But it would be really lovely to see you. Let me just switch back my cameras. Okay, there I am. Well, you can see the mess behind me. That's never good. So that's it for me tonight. A couple of nice comments there. Gina's put they're also pretty. Sandra's put, I love these designs, but I'm a traditional girl when it comes to Christmas cards. I am as well, believe it or not. But I just felt like doing something a little bit different. Carol's put awesome card design. So thank you so much for spending some of your Monday evening with me. I do really appreciate it. I will be live here again at midday on Thursday for my regular Thursday lunch club craft along. So I'll share on Wednesday the details of what you can bring with you to craft along with me. The video will remain as a replay on YouTube. So if you're not available at 12, don't worry, you can watch the replay back at any time on YouTube afterwards. And you've also got my Spotlight Stamping class starting tomorrow for November, which is really, really cute this month. So do join me if you can. And that's it from me, guys, tonight. So I'll leave you all there. As I mentioned at the beginning, all of my products, apart from the ones that I mentioned as we went along, are available to purchase from my online store. You can find that at staceymarsh.co.uk. Don't forget to enter the free gift code and you'll get a free gift from me next month. And if you have any questions, as always, do reach out, whether it's about the measurements, the techniques, the products, or you just want to say hi. It's always nice to hear from you. So have a great week, and I look forward to speaking to you all very soon. Bye.